Hey NatSun, it's Chef Evelyn here. Some of you know me as Natural Chocolate, and I'm coming to you with week 1 of the Going Back to School Challenge. So I am in the kitchen, but I'm not cooking in this video because when I really want to talk to you about healthy eating actually starts in your mind and in your lifestyle before you actually get to the stove. So before we get into that, I just want to give you a little bit of background about who I am. I am a personal chef in Dallas, Texas. I've taught cooking classes, I do online cooking videos, I do romantic dinners for 2, small dinner parties, private cooking lessons, things like that. Some of you have watched some of my cooking videos on my Chef Evelyn YouTube channel, but I really have a passion for good food. And while I am naturally leaning towards healthier cooking, I do believe that you can enjoy a lot of foods that you may think are unhealthy or may not seem as healthy, but the way you prepare them, how much you eat of them, where you get them from, it makes a huge impact on the nutrition level and the health value of the food. So I am not just somebody's mama cooking it up in the kitchen, because first of all, I don't have any children, but second of all, I am a classically trained chef. I went to the International Culinary Schools at the Art Institute of Dallas, where I dual enrolled in both culinary arts and baking and pastry arts. So I do have a little bit of a sweet tooth. I also graduated with honors. Before that, I have a Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering with an environmental focus. So environmental health, health for the body, all of that is kind of just a natural part of who I am. So I want you to come on this journey with me. As you can see, I have earned some of this lovely thickness because of the occupational hazards of being a chef. But I want to share with you the things that I eat when I'm not eating out and the way that I like to approach food. So first things first is this is not just for the month of September. While we are starting you off with this challenge, this is really just to kickstart you, whether it's with your hair, whether with Lubella coils, whether it's with fitness with a Keto Fit Girl, or whether it's with me and eating healthy. So I want to let you know that the things I'm sharing with you, I just don't want you to implement them for the next couple of weeks and then drop them off. I want them to become a part of your day-to-day life. So with that being said, I have notes here, so forgive me. I really want to start about my food philosophy, and a couple of things. It's really, really simple. Fresh is always better. If you can remember that, then you're already halfway ahead of the curve. Fresh anything is always better. I'm not a huge fan of prepackaged anything. So we're going to have a little challenge coming up in the next couple of weeks about canning the can. I don't like vegetables out of the can, or hardly anything out of a can, and if you can avoid it. And then also, so fresh is always better. I am totally against processed foods, okay? And what I mean by processed, a lot of people think that processed foods are only things from fast food restaurants, and that's definitely a #1 indicator of a processed food. But anything that you can open and eat, or open and heat, and it wasn't grown that way, is a processed food. Someone had to take it to a process for you to be able to have that convenience. So what you're trading is your health for convenience, okay? So I'm not a fan of processed foods. I'm sorry. You know, if it comes in a box and all you have to do is add water and stir, that is not part of this challenge, okay? So we're gonna talk about that in the upcoming weeks. And then, but the first place I really, really want to start is with portion control. And you hear people say that all the time. There's all these rules of thumb on how much protein you should have, how big your portion should be. But let me just give you a little bit of information. The American plate size, so this is your typical American dinner plate size, has increased in diameter by 2 to 2.5 inches since the 1950s. Okay, so, and we are more obese than ever before. Well, because we have a couple of things, which is fill your plate up for convenience, because we don't want to make more than one trip, and the clean your plate mentality, okay? So this is your standard dinner plate size. Now look, this is a saucer. You see the difference? This saucer is almost the size of a dinner plate from the 1950s, okay? So how can we work with this? My challenge to you this week is to start with a saucer. Whenever you have a meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I want you to grab a saucer instead of a full-size plate. I want you to just fill up the plate. Don't go up on the rim, okay? I just want you to fill the plate and eat that. Then wait 10 to 15 minutes. If you are still hungry, you can always go back for more, okay? So this is kind of what I call my salt philosophy. When you're cooking with salt, you add a little bit at a time, because you know, just as well as I know, that when you're cooking with salt, you can always add more, but you can't ever take any out, right? I want you to treat your body the same way. I want you to start with a small plate, eat that, wait 10 minutes so that your mind can register, hey, I'm no longer hungry, and then see if you're still hungry. Now, there's a difference between, oh, this tastes so good, I want seconds, okay, or still being hungry, right? There's also a difference between being satisfied and being full or being stuffed. I don't want you to be stuffed at all. If you're eating to the point that you're stuffed, you are probably overeating by about 3 times as much. I want you to eat to the point where you are no longer hungry. Even if you get hungry again in an hour, that's great. That means your body is burning through that and we're ready to eat again, okay? So challenge number 1 for this week, and there's a couple of challenges in this week, is to start with a saucer plate instead of a full-size plate. And you know, in the beginning, your mind is automatically going to tell you, I'm still hungry, which is why it's crucial to wait those 15 minutes to give your brain a chance to register that you're either satisfied or still hungry, okay? The second thing is, before you get to the plate, a lot of people do not know when their body is asking for moisture or for food, okay? So a lot of times when we think we're hungry, we're actually thirsty. So my challenge to you this week is, the moment you get a hunger pain, I want you to drink 8 ounces of water. Not fruit juice, not flavored water, not sparkling water, not soda or pop, depending on where you're from, because high fructose corn syrup, which is in a lot of fruit cocktail juices and is definitely in your carbonated beverages, actually blocks the sensors in your brain that says that you're full. So what happens is, you're drinking your cola or your, lemon lime soda or whatever you're doing, and you're eating, and you're overeating because the sensors now in your mind says, I'm still hungry, I can't recognize that I'm full. Then you wonder why 30 minutes later you're like dead asleep or exhausted, because you have overeaten, because it took all that time for your mind to register that you were full, because it was inhibited by the high fructose corn syrup, okay? So I know that there's those commercials out there that say, oh, corn sugar, cane sugar, it's all the same thing. It's not really true. You should look and see that those commercials are sponsored by the Corn Farmers Association, okay? So that was my 2 challenges for the week. Once again, we're gonna, as soon as we're hungry, we're gonna drink 8 ounces of water, which is just a small cup of water, okay? And then we're gonna start with a small plate. And here's the thing, when your body is thirsty, but you rarely give it water, it will send a signal that it's hungry, because that's probably the only way that you're getting liquids or water into your body. Meaning, if my body says I'm hungry and then I go eat a watermelon, well, a watermelon is something like 80-90% water, my body's going to say, oh, that's the way to get water, let me tell you that you're craving watermelon. Where you really need to train your body that you're actually craving water, and know the difference between when you're thirsty and when you're hungry. So I hope you will join me week 1. This is the water and plate challenge, and then we're going to actually get into some clean eating and cooking tips in the following weeks. But encourage your friends, your Twitter followers, your YouTube followers, your Facebook friends, anybody on Pinterest to join in on the Natural Going Back to School Challenge. I think this is a great way to even start with your children, particularly if you've got growing, adolescents and preteens. This is a great way to implement healthy eating habits. So water, And then we're going to start with portion control, because portion control is half the battle. And then we're going to get into the process of switching out into some healthier foods and some healthier cooking methods. So don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to encourage people to join Natural Sunshine. And I will see you next week for part 2 of the challenge. Take care.